You, for example, have products which can really make big changes to patients' lives, and most of those are important. Uh, how do you see that kind of a hurdle? What can be done to really bring it more closer? I was seeing yesterday the Alzheimer's drug, the latest one from Eisai and Biogen. I think it's priced at $26,000. So these are prices which are like prohibitively high for Indian population. Roche will be having many such drugs which will be very highly priced. What can be done? Do you think there's some kind of a change that can be brought about from the budget?
There definitely needs to be an incentive for encouraging companies to also launch products.
Mm-hmm.
We were the first ones to launch the SMA drug in India. It is the first available therapy for SMA. But again, it's expensive. But there is something which can we do to kind of bring down the cost? Of course, we have a differential price. We have a patient support program. But we also do have an import tax. We have a GST, which is very high. The government might have to look at things a little differently, because the advantage or the incentive that we will have with having exemptions in terms of taxation on certain areas will ultimately benefit the patients. So everyone has to play a part in it.
Many companies are not really very keen to bring their products in India, whereas there is a 1.3 billion kind of a population residing in this country. Where exactly do you think are the hiccups?
As to why is it still a problem for various other organizations, I can just hypothesize to say that there are certain trust issues, possibly, because intellectual property, this thing is going to be very important. Is there going to be a value for innovation? That's number one. Now, if how is value for innovation recognized? One is, of course, you need to kind of respect the laws of international patents and so on. But having said that, it can't become a single organizational responsibility to ensure access to the patients. Is the entire ecosystem playing a part in it? When I'm saying, I'm not just taking the government into consideration. I'm talking about what is the responsibility of an employer? What are the kind of what's the responsibility of an insurance organization? There's so many other things which need to come into play, because again, what we also need to recognize is we are not a country in isolation. What happened in India is also getting referenced in multiple other markets. So one of the big challenges which companies face is, so okay, fine, we decide to launch a product at X price in India, which means that that price gets spoken about in various other forums. It could be a developed economy for all you know, but if somebody is going to say, hey, why India you're giving this price, and why are you kind of pricing me 3 times as much in this particular thing? That's very uncomfortable conversations. What as Roche we have done is we said that, okay, we are going to take these conversations head on and we are going to do the right thing. But there are certain times when it becomes a choice for people to kind of not engage in these conversations. So that's one of the reasons you see delayed launches in India. They say, okay, let's realize value out of the developed markets, and maybe after 5 years we'll think about launching it, and again we don't have the problem of patent infringement and so on. So I think these are some of the limiting factors. And again, when you talk about pricing, it's an important thing. We need to kind of recover the cost of the investment that we are making in R&D, because it's a huge investment, and it comes with a huge amount of risk as well. So these are factors which needs to be taken into account.